In this problem, we will see the set matrix zero, and it is a lead code problem, and it is a very famous problem that has been asked in many interviews. We have given M into a matrix, okay, and we have to check whether if an element is zero in the matrix, then we will set its entire rows and columns to zero. What it is saying that, for example, in this example, here it is a zero, then we have to set its rows and columns to zero, entire rows and columns to zero. Okay, so what should be the approach to solve this problem is one way we can solve this problem is a brute force approach. Brute force approach. In the brute force approach, what we can do is we can traverse through each element of the matrix. And for an instance, when we will find a zero element, then we will run a loop for the rows and columns to set the value to zero. Okay. So what will be the time complexity in this problem? In this approach. So we will traverse through each element. So there will be n square element, and so n square element, so order of n square, and for each zeroth element, in the worst case, the whole matrix element can be zero. So we will run a loop n times. So we can run a loop n times for rows and n times for column to set the element, to set the entire rows and columns to zero. So in this case, the time complexity will be order of n cube. Okay. So what can be the other approach to solve this problem? What will be the efficient approach to solve this problem? Okay. So what we can do in a better approach, uh, in a better approach will be uh, we will maintain a 1D array for the rows and columns. Okay, in this case, there are three rows, so we will maintain the one cross three matrix for 0, 1, 2 rows, and for the column also we will maintain one cross three matrix 1D array of 0, 1, 2. Okay, and we will traverse through the each element of the matrix, and whenever we will find the zero, we will note its position I comma j. In this case, it is 1 comma 1. Okay, 1 comma 1. So we will this represents row, this represents column. So what we will do, we will uh, set the 1th index in the row to -1, and for the j also, j represents the columns of 4 column matrix. Also we will set the index 1 to -1. Okay, otherwise all will be the 0. Okay, so we will note the position of uh, 0 0 in rows and column. Okay, then again we will traverse through the element, and we will check whether its rows and columns are set to -1. If any of the rows and column is set to -1, then we will set the value to 0. For this case, we will say 0 comma 0. So 0 comma 0, the both the 0 comma 0, both the element is 0. So we will leave it as it is. Okay, then we will check 0 comma 1. So 0 comma 1, we will see a column is set to -1. Okay, then what we will do, we will set this value, to 0. Let me draw the matrix here. Okay, okay, we will leave it as it is, and we will set it to 0. Then we will check here 0 cross 2, 0 comma 2, and 0 comma 2, both the element are 0. both the element are 0, then we will leave it leave it as it is. Then we will check 1 cross 1 comma 0, 1 comma 0 we will see 1 comma 0 1 comma 0 we will check there is a minus 1 in the rows matrix, so we will set it to 0. Then we will check here and we will check 1 cross 1 comma 1. Then we will find 1 comma 1, both the element is minus 1, we will set it to 0. Then we'll come here, then we will check 1 comma 2 and 1 comma 2, we will check here we will find minus 1, so it will be 0. Similarly for here 2 comma 0, 2 comma 0 both 2 comma 0 both the element are 0, so we will leave it as it is, and then we will check 2 comma 1. So in 2 comma 1 minus 1 is set in the column matrix, so we will set it to 0. And then we'll check 2 comma 2, and then we'll be check 2 comma 2 is 0, no both the element are 0, so we will leave it as it is, and we will get the um, matrix as a result. Okay, so it is a very easy problem, and in this case the time complexity of this problem will be one time we are traversing through the all the element, and for for the first time we are traversing the element to set the rows and column matrix to minus 1. Okay, and then we again traversing the matrix to find the resultant matrix. So in this case the time complexity will be order of n square and order of n square, and it will be order of n square. Okay, so yeah, so we have reduced the time complexity of this problem, uh, and here it is a problem on the LeetCode, and here it is my solution. Okay, and okay, so we will gonna submit this problem and we will find that it has success and runtime is 13 milliseconds. So okay, thank you.